How's everyone doing? Happy Cinco de Mayo. I hope you're celebrating responsibly. You know, they say truth is stranger than fiction, and you always hear people say, you can't make this stuff up, folks. Well, let me tell you something. Here's something you can't make up. I'm going to read it for you. This is one of those things that pisses me off. Take a second. Think about, we're in this horrific economic crisis. We've got issues going on over the world. There's there's horrible problems here, not only with the economy, jobs being lost, people in need. You're losing homes left and right. People are losing their jobs left and right. Think of a great way our government could spend $400,000. We'll get to some of those at the end because I want to tell you how they're spending 400,000. You ready for this? I'm going to read a couple of things verbatim because again, I love doing that because it's all about having the facts. But here we go. The National Institute of Health, you know them. They're the ones in our government in Washington. They do, yeah. National Institute of Health is funding a study that seeks to discover the link between drinking and having sex among homosexuals in Argentina. Okay, all right, I will read it again. The National Institute of Health is funding a study that seeks to discover a link between drinking and having sex among homosexuals and Argentina. The study will send researchers to 6 bars in Buenos Aires to interview both patrons and proprietors in an effort to discover what it is about those bars that may encourage risky behavior. The study began on September 30th, 2008. That's right, during the Bush administration. But it runs through August 31st of 2010, well into this current administration. It's already cost taxpayers $198,000, and by the time it's done, it's going to cost $403,000, according to the National Institute of Health. The study's primary focus. Now, make up your jokes, but let's get to the primary focus, shall we? Because that's where the heart of this whole thing is. It'll help you understand why we have to do this. The study's primary focus is to determine the relationship among drinking, bars frequented by homosexuals, and risky sexual behavior to see if certain bars in Argentina are good targets for HIV prevention campaigns. Huh. Targeting public venues in Buenos Aires where men meet, alcohol is consumed, and sexual behavior occurs. The goal of this 2-year exploratory study is to understand the various factors that contribute to the creation of a high risk sexual space. Now, let's get a couple of things straight. One, we don't need to go to Buenos Aires to find out why drinking leads to sex. Forget whether it's a gay bar or a straight bar or anything else. If you want to know why drinking leads to sex, don't go to another country. Get in your car and go to a local bowling alley where it happens every 32 seconds. Now, this is just ridiculous. And for them to talk about homosexuals and risky sex. I mean, what kind of risky sex are we talking about? Are we blowing each other while we're going on a moped full speed down an exit ramp? I don't understand what you mean by risky sexual behavior. Is one person hanging onto a high tension line while the other one's got their legs wrapped around the hips? What is risky sexual? This is just ridiculous, but we are paying for it. I want you to understand that money that comes out of your paycheck every single week is going to fund this. You are paying so people can go to Argentina and go into bars, gay bars, and find out what they're drinking and why it leads to them having sex. Oh my God. You know something? Any 21-year-old in a bar will tell you why drinking leads to sex. Now, I've got to read you this next part because you're gonna love this. Oh, here we are. Here we are. This is great. The study has 6 goals, including the collection of information on 6 specific bars in Buenos Aires, the appearance of those bars, alcohol's availability, the patrons that go to those bars, and the type of sexual behaviors taking place. So they want to know not only who's going to the bar, what the bar looks like, what kind of alcohol they serve, and what kind of sexual behavior takes place. I mean, how exactly do you do this? I mean, do you go on there with your sheet of paper and you go, let's see here, strawberry daiquiri. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Table by the lamp. All right, all right. Oh, finger in the butt. There we go. Yep, that's that one. Let's go to the next bar. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, Miller Genuine Draft on tap. It's kind of a rugged, man. Look at the mustache. Thought I saw him with the Village People. Anyways, here's there. Next to the pool table. All right. And, oh, full on anal. Why? Why does any of this matter? Well, they say that they want to do this. It says after discovering why men who drink in these bars have homosexual sex, it's because they're gay. Anyways, that doesn't matter. After discovering why men who drink in these bars have homosexual sex, researchers will then try to discover whether it's possible to conduct an anti-HIV intervention and how to conduct these interventions. Now, first things first. They make it sound like, well, there's a reason. We got to go to this bar in Buenos Aires because what we found out is that when people drink, they have sex with each other. I bet it's something. It's got to be something in the alcohol. Is that what it is? Is this by another group that thinks that homosexuality is a choice or whatever the case may be? I don't understand this. First off, $400,000. Secondly, if you want to conduct those surveys, do it here in the United States. Thirdly, if you want to conduct those surveys, don't. What a waste of time. What a waste of taxpayers' money. And this is happening right now, and it can still be stopped. They've spent half the money. There's another 200 grand left on the table that if we stop this now, this can go away. So what you do is you email your senators and your congressmen and you tell them this is bullshit and needs to stop. You email the National Institute of Health and tell them this is bullshit and it needs to stop. Now let's go back to that first question. $400,000. When's the last time you drove down the street and saw someone homeless? When's the last time you saw on TV of somebody else losing their job? They can't feed their family. The kids are walking around with holey tennis shoes and the same clothes they've had on for a couple of weeks because they just don't have money for any more. Where's a good place for $400,000 to go where it counts? The audacity to allow this type of project to happen and not pull the plug. Why does it take our money and our researchers to go into 6 bars in Argentina? If we want to learn about anything with the United States, do it. Now, I won't denigrate research on HIV. I think it's amazingly important. We need to find a cure for AIDS. We need to do whatever we can to stop the spread of that disease. But this study is stupid. It's an embarrassment. And as far as I'm concerned, it's stealing money from you and from me. I've said before, at times, you just have to stand up, America, and take a stand. This is one of those things. Yeah, there's humor in it. There's jokes to be made. I attempted a couple of them poorly. But this needs to stop. We need to stand up and tell our lawmakers, stop this, end this. Pull those people back, use that money for something we can see and feel. Use it for kids who have no food. Use it for families who can't pay their bills. Use it to help prevent disease in our country. How about another 400 grand towards researching the swine flu and the cure of it here in America? I'd rather see that than an amazingly horrific study about horny gay men. If you heard that, that's the train going off. But it's also a pretty good indicator that I'm about done. This is another one of those things where we ask you just to stand up, America, and do something about it. Because unless you and I do something about it, no one else will.